Just getting everything situated. Let's see. Let me know in the chat if you guys can actually see what's going on. Maybe, maybe not, maybe. I guess it has to take a minute to go. All right. So without further ado, this is my sketch that was on the actual thumbnail. Oh, and you know what? Let me test my mic. Okay, there we go. Give me one moment. Hey, is the chat working for all of you? Okay, there. Yeah, I'll go. Okay, good. I guess there was some kind of pause. I don't know. All right, so I just want to go over what we're going to talk about today, and it's how to create compelling characters. And I know that character design in general is a very, very competitive and sought after part of being a concept artist. Um, the the main reason why it's so competitive is because so many people are in the pool of applicants. And I think that while there are a ton of really good character artists out there, there's this, I don't know, there's this like daunting measure that we all have to live up to everybody else's characters that we see on ArtStation and sites like that. And the thing is, it's not the fact that people are trying to get in the industry who are really good and you just can't compete against them. It's just there are so many that there's like a big sea of sameness, and you have to set yourself apart from other character artists. So you can see here, like this alien, I tried to make it almost human, but not quite. And then there's some areas up here where you can clearly tell there's like a rib cage, abdominal structure, etc. That's almost human. So we have that frame of reference. All right. Cosmos, it's okay. You're 150 seconds late. Hey, that's no problem because the last live session, it had been so long since I had done one on my phone that I forgot what to click in order to start the live session. So I was like scrambling, figuring out what to push, and then I just felt ridiculous when all I had to do was just push the calendar. Yeah. But anyway, this drawing right here took longer than most of my demos that I give on my channel, just because I really went in to detail and did some fine tuning with all of the joints. Like, as you can tell, like most of my demos, I purposefully don't do the full body. One, because of time constraints. I want to keep the videos that are on my channel under an hour or at an hour. But also, the focal point never really is the feet or the hands. It's usually the face. And that's what I've been, like really going into detail about on almost all of my tutorials. It's always the face. Once you get that face in there, you get that facial feature or those facial features in the grimace, the expression. It really goes a long way. I actually have some other art here in my other sketchbooks, so just a second. I'll show you another full body character just to show you that I do full bodies. Okay, there's some environment sketches, but here's another one. Okay, that's pencil. I have no idea what that is, but it was just a character that I felt compelled to make. And maybe there's like too much of a glare on here. Hold on a second. I'm going to change some of the lighting so it's not as harsh on the sketchbook. So it might go dark just for a second, and then I'll go. Right. Is that better? That's a different style light. There might be some more shadows on it, but oh, there we go. I see. Here, I'm gonna adjust the light. Just a minute. I'm still here. I don't know. That might work. Maybe I'll turn it away a little bit. There we go. I guess that's about as good as it's gonna get. It's also midday here, so you might get a lot of reflection. Let's see what the pen looks like. Yeah, I guess that'll do. You'll call him Tusk? Yeah, it makes sense. I got another one I'll show. Right over here. So this is more detail put in the upper body than anything. So the reference gathered from this was an iguana, obviously, and then I put some human elements in there and kind of anthropomorphized, whatever that word is, the actual lizard. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go back to my original sketchbook here. And I'm going to show you, you probably have seen one of these off on my website. But this one was so strange and unique that even I kind of freaked myself out a little bit. I don't know what it was. It just started drawing it. And you know, when each of you draw and you're looking at your stuff, you know when you look at your drawing and you go, I got something here. I got something. I pulled some kind of imagery from deep in my cerebellum. I have maybe it was a dream I had or a movie, and you know you got something. So as soon as I drew this, I'm like, you know what? This thing is so weird and gross. It's probably because one of my favorite movies is Silent Hill, and I'm so happy that they're making a proper sequel. I'm gonna I'm gonna forget part two because that should never have come to the theater. It was awful. But they're actually making a part two, so I'm really happy. And I have a blank area over here. So my question to you guys is, I don't know what it is, Simon. It's probably about humans/humanoids today. Yeah. And I don't know what this is. Oh, it definitely doesn't fly, but it probably could because it's got like these winged legs instead of winged arms. So it might jump out of the tree and do the splits and just glide. That'd be kind of funny actually to see. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, can you guys see this okay? Is this good lighting? Because I could just draw like that. Okay, first things first. So whenever you're doing a human-like character, you definitely want to have good proportions first. And the other thing is never make them stiff. All right, so what I mean by stiff is when you look at the backbone of a character, okay, for example, if you're drawing the back, okay, and you got the spine, curvature of the spine, what do? We do this. We just draw the neck straight up. And that's not how we stand. That's not how humans stand. Humans, there's the shoulder joint, there's the trapezius, okay? You got your rear delts, you got your latissimus in the back. I'm not going to draw the arm in there, but I am going to draw the chest. Okay, you got your obliques, you got your diaphragm, you got your stomach, you got your abdominal muscles. And then this is the trick on making it not look stiff. You take the human's neck and then you push it forward just a little bit, because when you view us, especially men, because we have more pronounced trachea right here, like an Adam's apple, when you push the neck forward, it has a very good organic stance to it. And then, of course, you have the head. Okay, and I'm not going to draw full head. I'm just going to draw the jaw. And there's the nose, eye, like this. And this is a really good way to practice. And then you can do all kinds of funny stuff, you know, like give it a mohawk, give it all kinds, sternocleidomastoid muscle. This is a really good way to practice people because you don't have to go into a lot of detail in order to draw something very realistic. That's why companies like Disney and EA and other really big companies that have animation sectors, um, you know, they actually require their concept artists to go to figure drawing classes, and it's part of the salary. It's an amazing perk that you have. It's really really cool. Yeah, stiff poses. Don't even feel bad. We all suffer from drawing stiff poses. It's just inevitable. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a gesture sketch of something humanoid. So I'll put it right about here. And also in the chat, let me know if the light isn't really good. So this is very, very loose. And I think what I'll do is I'll make sure that each body part that can flex the most, so like we got shoulders, neck, all those fun areas, I'm going to make sure that they're more pronounced. And you want to exaggerate those areas too. So we'll make this almost human, but not quite. Something a little off about it, but you can still tell. It's kind of like the engineers in Prometheus, you know, where they could get away with being human, but something doesn't feel right. Okay, good. Yeah, I try not to get too bright. Um, got a nice light set up and still getting used to the settings on it though. Another trick whenever you're doing humans, those of you that are drawing along with me, is whenever you do them, make sure that you don't make the eyes too big. That tends to be a problem with a lot of concept art, is the eyes are too big. So this is just a practice round. We're not really doing anything special. I might give it some hair, maybe some dreadlocks. That'd be kind of fun. There we go. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask away. Thanks, Chuck. I like doing them too. I was purposefully holding off on live streams because I wanted to make sure that there was going to be enough people. And I know they always say, "Oh, it doesn't matter how many people are tuning in." You know what? It kind of does, because for the person doing the live stream, um, you know, you want to know that you're actually reaching and helping people. And if you're just live streaming to nobody, you don't know if you're helping anybody. And I understand the frustrations with trying to learn art, and it's kind of difficult online, especially digitally. No, not all my characters have backstories. I try, like if I'm just making stuff up, I'll try to give it a little bit of a backstory for a personal project, just so it's not being invented blindly. Because the more you put in the backstory, the better the design's going to be. Yeah, you're right, Cosmos. I mean, I'm used to teaching in actual colleges in front of physical classrooms, and it's you know, when things started going more digitally, uh, do remote teaching and stuff, it can be kind of strange if you're not used to the whole technology thing. Now, luckily, I've always considered myself tech savvy, but you know, still, like, you kind of need that uh, indication that, like, hey, I'm learning something. Thanks. All right. So you can tell, actually, this is probably more human than I was originally thinking that it was going to be. Maybe this can be some character on a distant planet. You know, maybe I'll put some like jewelry in his ear. I don't know. Maybe this person has like a row of hair right here, and then it comes out. You see how loose I'm being with everything. No, I am not, Rachel. I'm sorry. No, I just finished up a very big project with them. It's a really big IP. Did some mostly environments actually. But I can say that NetEase is coming out or releasing their game called Ashfall on Steam in the third quarter of this year, so probably late July, early August. And I did several creatures for that, and that's the one I can say. And also Snail Games, which when I was first hired, the CEO had Project Hermes coming out, and he has since changed that name, and I think they made it public. I asked the art director, and I just can't remember what the name of it is now. I prefer pencil. Yeah. I like pen, but I prefer pencil. You can do more with it. It kind of did look like Destiny, didn't it? Something from Destiny. Oh, thanks, Rachel. So now I'm just kind of feeling out like where the anatomy is. And this is the other thing. Whenever you're drawing people and you're trying to do a dynamic pose, always imagine them in some kind of turmoil or moving. Um, Whenever you look at art of books, say Last of Us, Deus Ex, God of War, you notice that like most of those characters are displayed doing something. They're in the middle of doing an activity. And this is why painters for doing Warhammer 40K and all that and all the illustrations, they always ask them, can you please paint these characters in the moments right before they strike in battle and not the actual battle, because it leaves it for interpretation. So maybe this character is not being attacked, but maybe it's trying to maneuver its way around something. And now I'm just kind of walking over some different layers of pen. It's funny, like I had planned to do Alaric, you asked what is my favorite size sketchbook. You know, man, I don't know. Like I keep ordering 8.5 by 11 just because I'm used to it, but I like the smaller ones too. I like the smaller ones for thumbnails. I like the larger ones for more thought out sketches, just because you have more room, more freedom. Yeah, okay, so if you're not confident yet with your lines and you're still feeling a little timid, I would definitely recommend doing larger sketchbooks because it opens up room to draw larger lines and get used to the thick to thin movements, because if you're staying too confined, it's not really going to work. Maybe we should maybe we should turn him into a warrior. That would be kind of fun. So now I'm just kind of adding in the direction in which I want his limbs to go. So maybe he's going to be holding a spear or some kind of weapon. Yeah, like a spear or weapon or something. I should have drawn those characters in Bone Tomahawk. Crazy movie. Anybody seen Bone Tomahawk? I don't know. Hey, what's up, Osprey? It's good to have you here, man. It's good to have all of you here. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Seriously, this means a lot. Um, let's see. Yeah, so from now on, I believe Fridays are going to be my live streaming days because it just seems that that's when my schedule can allow me to do it, unless I have meetings. But I think that's going to work. We have a lot of really cool things that we can do to this guy to really make him stand out. So, what I'm doing now to make him compelling is that his face is rather abnormal. So, when you're looking at the face, you're going, okay, he's got a very pronounced brow ridge. He doesn't really have any eyebrows. Let's give him some though, because that'll help the expression. But he's got that memorable hairdo. And then also the other thing that he's got is this very determined look on his face. Okay, the lips are coming out. It's almost like he wants to say something, but he hasn't said it yet. Maybe he's just so in tune to getting his job done. Maybe he's battling a creature. I don't know. And I think what I'm going to do is on his forearm right here, that would be perfect for some kind of clothing, some kind of wrap. That would be fun. And also maybe a necklace. Let's just do that. This is the experimental phase. So maybe he's got some kind of strange necklace on with maybe like a bone pendants or yeah, that's kind of cool. It's turned more tribal than anything. Hey guys and girls. I own Color and Light. I've had it for several years. It's one of the best books. Those of you learning how to paint, definitely do it. I remember the one thing that blew my mind about that book is when James Gurney explained that the light of the moon is definitely not blue, it's actually warm. It's actually yellow and red. I like that, blew my mind. I don't know what I'm thinking about the clothing here. I haven't really thought of the atmosphere yet. I'm just kind of putting in the anatomy. I want to get the anatomy down lightly. We got to get the obliques in there. Those are important. Good morning. Oh, thanks, John. Hey, cool logo, by the way. Speaking of logos, I'm actually working to enhance my logo and everything for my YouTube channel and my banner. I've had that in there for like a year now. Maybe a new headshot of myself. I don't know. Maybe I'll just draw myself as a monster. Lord Baron, yeah, I'm keeping this live stream up indefinitely. So you just go to my live playlist and I'll have it in there. What kind of questions would you like to hear from us? Oh, I don't really mind what kind of questions you guys have. I'll just try to answer as many as I can. I mean, now's the time. Like if you want to learn about the industry and what we do and how to get in, I mean, feel free to ask. I can't get to everybody, unfortunately. What's the hardest part of creating characters? Making them memorable. When was the last time you drew digitally? Today. I do it every day. What do you think about art school and the academy? Well, it's a personal choice. Um, I went to school. I know a lot of people now are saying don't go because of student loans, but I'm glad I went, mainly because of the camaraderie, and I did learn how to draw quickly in thumbnails because the training was industrial design. I'm thinking, okay. See, this is what I do when I try to think about what the heck my characters are going to actually hold. But the movement, you need to put some energy in your character sketches. So I need to make sure that there's some movement in here. No, I haven't done industrial design in a long time. All my industrial design stuff was mainly on was in Photoshop and stuff. See, this is important to get all the anatomy correct. Oh, I have a little Pazuzu statue and I just knocked it over. That's what that sound was. No, the Pazuzu statue was given to me for a Christmas present. I'm really proud of that thing. It looks at me all the time. Be like, you better do your work. Do you ever feel stumped on what else I can draw? To be honest, if I ever get to a point where I have no idea what to do, I just ask myself, what should I look at in order to get an idea? And since I'm a creature designer, I usually look at creatures and artwork that other people have done in the industry, photographs, anything to really help me. And I know that's kind of a cliche thing to say, but it's really that easy of an answer. If you guys are drawing and you have no idea what, like if you open your sketchbook, you have no idea what to draw, ask yourself why. Like why can't I draw anything? Well, you need to look at reference for one, and two, it's just a matter of actually doing it. Just start scribbling. There's a lot of power in thumbnails. Nimrod asks, this is a good question. What's your opinion on AI image generators and how they are going to affect artists? Well, okay, so I don't know, I've talked about this in my other live stream, but I'll say it again. AI is not going anywhere, no matter how much people hate it, no matter how much people complain and try to stir the pot. Once it's ethically taken care of, people are going to have to adapt to it or they're not going to be able to survive. It's just bottom line. Now, traditional art like this, a computer can't do, period. Okay, but there's a lot of stuff that a computer is doing and it's wiping out jobs. And it's no different than when Photoshop came out and it freaked out the photographers. And then those who adapted made it, those who didn't adapt did not make it. And they just stayed bitter forever. And I don't want to stay bitter. So I'm trying to think about AI as a tool instead of the enemy. I'm a traditionalist at heart, so I don't steal anything. But it is affecting everybody. Thanks, Anaru. Yeah, it's spread across the world. And not only has it spread across the world, it's taking care of things in the industry that normally a human could potentially mess up. Like, for example, coding. Oh, thank you. We got a super chat. Jing asks, hey, Bobby. In the last live, I asked you about frustrations. Now I would like to know what you would recommend to maintain a healthy relationship with drawing. Appreciations from Brazil. I really appreciate that, Jing. All right. So, maintaining a healthy relationship with drawing is give yourself an allotment of time during the day dedicated to drawing. And what that means is write down areas that you know for a fact that you need to get better in instead of just drawing blindly. Okay. Now, there's nothing wrong with being self taught, but you've heard perfect, or you've heard practice makes perfect. It's actually perfect practice makes perfect. You got to know what to practice. And if you get frustrated, you feel like you're not getting any better, it's time to take a break from the drawing just for a little bit and start thinking about things that really interest you. Because when I was growing up, I knew that creatures interested me most. And I knew that I could focus on creature design to really make myself feel better about what I was drawing. That's what helps your frustrations. Thanks for stopping in, Cosmos. And you can watch this later too. This will be available for the public. Appreciate it. Did that answer your question, Jing? Because I know learning art is hard. It is. It's hard. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some kind of strap down here. I don't know. Maybe coming across his chest. That'd be kind of fun. Peter asks, how many rounds of iterations do you normally do for a character? How many versions of a character for each round? Well, okay, I don't want to give you a blanket statement, but it really does depend. Like when I was with NetEase, they had a 3-step process for character work. They would give you the brief. You would have about 2 days to do thumbnails, so maybe like 5 versions tops. And then on Wednesdays, Thursdays, you would refine the sketch and start adding color and be about 80% done with it. And then at the end of the week, you would do the final. Now, when I first started at Airship Interactive working on a big project, I was doing a character. It was like I had to design a younger, it's like an adolescent boy, and probably about 8 or 9 different options. And then I started adding clothing and stuff, and then it just kind of went from there. So it just really depends on what the art director wants and the needs. Now you guys can see here how the depth being added is just because I'm pushing harder with the pen, but all these other smaller little markings, it's almost like my drawing or my pen is thinking out loud. I'm just allowing it to happen. So whoever asked before if this guy's having a loincloth, I think he's going to have a loincloth. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Where did I learn how to light works? Figure drawing. And just drawing over and over and over. Drawing form over and over. Oh man, did I draw over and over. When they say 10,000 hours, it makes you perfect something. It's usually more. I just study light. I just go outside and I look at how light hits things. I put spotlights on. I know it's so boring to think about, but still life drawing really is a good technique to use. I don't want to knock my stuff over here. Okay, so I'm thinking, wouldn't that be crazy if this guy had a fake hand? Like there's a stump there with a spike coming out. I'm thinking out loud. So I got to make sure that I'm really honoring my character. I don't want to just invent new things. I want to keep this character intact. Like I don't know how it's going to happen. All right, so maybe. All right, so just splitting up some forearm muscle here, just to show you where it starts. Hey everyone, those of you that are just tuning in now, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Does my mood ever affect my character's actions? No. If I'm angry and I start drawing a character or creature, I draw the opposite of anger. So I'm not angry anymore. Or I'll just draw something fun. Maybe like a little tattoo right there. Oh, thanks, Sam. By the way, I'm looking to do, because I have somewhere to be at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So we still have plenty of time to live stream. So I'm thinking this is probably going to go for another hour until about 12:45 EST. I'm just checking the anatomy now just to make sure everything's looking peachy. Just a little bits here and there are really going to help. The deltoid and all that. What am I using for a sketchbook? This is Moleskine. I like Moleskine. But if you guys don't want to use Moleskine, that's totally fine. There's a lot of other different types of sketchbooks that you can use. For example, Strathmore, Canson, Letraset, Graphics 360, printer paper. Yeah, he's got some abs, doesn't he? He's on that paleo diet. I got to be careful with his chest though, because it's, his chin is going to be blocking where the clavicles meet. And there's going to be a separation there with his pectoral muscles. So I just got to be careful that I don't go overboard with it. Thanks too. I mean, honestly, I might actually give this character a very long spear that'll just sit like this because the way that I made the arms, although I don't know. Yeah, cottonwood's good too. Very, very good. All right, so I'm going to make sure that the cast shadows are projected correctly, so I don't want to skip out on that. So I want to definitely darken the hair right there. And then just kind of fade out the lines. No, Jeremy. Sorry, that I don't think that'll work. Not for this character. It could, but I don't think so. Yes, I do plan on more colored pencil videos. Yeah. There's just so many things that I want to do, and I can't do them all at once. Oh, did I put that in the wrong spot? I might have. This one I did. Okay, so here, ooh. Drawing with pen. So I got to correct that. That's why you draw light first. Okay, there we go. Deltoid folds down like that. Now we're talking. Okay, I was a little worried there. How old am I? Juliana asks. I am 43 years old. And thank you very much for your compliment. Am I a fan of doing self-portraits? I'm not a fan just because I don't do them, but it doesn't suggest that I wouldn't do them. I've done them before. Not even going to repeat that. Christian asked, how long have you been drawing? 40 years. That's no joke. I was born in 1980, and my cousin gave me a pack of green army men in a plastic bag from the neighborhood store, and I drew the army men. And then my mom gave me a dinosaurs to draw, and that was in 1984, and I have not looked back since. Thanks, Juliana. I get that a lot. I'm going to take that as a compliment. Yeah, I tell people I'm 43, and they're just like, no, you're not. You're like 30. I'm like, no, I get it from my mom. Good genes. Thanks, Xmas. Do you like Xmas all year round? I mean, naming your handle that's pretty bold. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add a very, very light idea of what I want this character to be doing. And I think I'm going to exaggerate some human proportions here. Because we're looking at this character from above, so it's not going to be, stretch legs or whatever, but character might be in a very stylized pose. Just putting in some indications of where the kneecaps could be, the glute, the thighs and all that. Because remember, it's going to be foreshortened, so it's not going to look like he's just standing directly in front of us. But there's also a lot of opportunity with this character to really, really make him sing. Like maybe some pouches here on the side. Maybe when this character goes hunting, there's some creatures that it needs to prepare for. Thanks, Alaric. It's just layering, man. It's just layering and being happy with the markings that you put down and not trying to be a perfectionist when it comes to gestures. Hey, Tayon. Yeah, we could do this forever. Like artists, there really is no retirement. It's kind of like you could do it until you're 90, you could do it till you're 80, whatever. Because there's no physical impact to our job. as, as long as we got limbs, man. Yeah, I draw digitally. You can check out my portfolio on ArtStation. Yeah, unless you go blind. I've thought of that. I've thought of like, what would happen if I did go blind, but I still memorized the movements I need to make with my pen? Would I still be able to draw? I never really thought of that too much. Lucas, you were wondering about getting work specifically with character concept and design. You draw stuff in a kind of creepy comic cartoon meets Junji way. Is it Junji Ito? You just have to show it. And it's usually companies that are doing something similar. So a lot of times companies, even if you're really good, will only hire you if the work that you're doing looks like what they're currently making. And that's the only way. The book that was on Kickstarter, yeah, it was called Subconscious Sketches from a Dark Place. I did that 8 years ago. And did I do it 8 years ago? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it got funded. It was cool. It's just a collection of sketches that I had done several years prior up until that point, and it got funded. And I think I think my goal was about 9,000 and it made 11,000, so I was really proud of that. After all those books went out, I had the allotment left over and I sold the rest on uh, Etsy. And then after that, I have 5 more physical copies left and I am not selling those just because memorabilia. But I was really proud of that. I have the PDF now. So the PDF is going to be ready to purchase very soon. Something's up with Shopify on my channel, on Shopify website in general, so I can't put products in there yet. There's something wrong with the interface. They gave me a message saying that we're going to fix it soon. So I was like, okay. Oh, that's cool, man. Alaric, I made you a better artist in 3 months. Well, that means a lot. It's very humbling. I know I can be harsh sometimes when I teach drawing. It's just because I don't sugarcoat anything, and I think that's why people aren't progressing. It's just because they want to be, not you personally, I'm just saying in general, people want to be handheld and they don't want to be told that they're bad. And it's just like you're not gonna get better unless somebody tells you what's wrong. So I'm pretty harsh when I do my critiques in my videos and stuff. Rachel, I've thought about it, but then something happened. So I don't know if you've been following me on LinkedIn. Like, I don't know if you've seen my portfolio, but I started posting stuff for my personal project, Ecor 117, which is a fictitious planet. I've been working on this for like 4 years. That's going to be my next book. And it's going to take a while to really flesh out. All right, that's looking pretty decent. Get those tendons in there and the carpal. There we go. Got to figure out the core shadow. Definitely on the side here. There we go. Thanks, Famberlight. Oh, the comments. You guys have no idea what I see, the comments coming in through my videos, especially on the videos that have gotten like 300,000 views or something. I had one person tell me that he doesn't like my attitude. Like, I didn't know I had an attitude. Just very straightforward. Oh, you know what it needs? That's wrong. I think a ring right there, like a big fat ring. There we go. Yeah, but I changed my mind. He might hold a spear in this one, or like a really long double bladed knife. That'd be cool. I'm just trying to think about what I could do to clothe him. Also, I don't. Are you guys viewing this on your phone or the desktop? Because I don't know if the chat is blocking. Let me try something here. Okay. Yeah, maybe a scythe, but most scythes are held with two hands. There we go. It is definitely a stress relief. Oh yeah. I love drawing. I couldn't imagine not doing it. It's just been I knew it was more than a hobby when I was a kid. My day did not feel complete unless I drew something. Because I always felt like I had to be doing it so I can progress as an artist. Because I kept seeing other artists that had made it in the industry and that were doing cool stuff like movies. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to do that. I am going to do that. Do I have a favorite artist? Yes, Pyotr Jablonski. He does illustrations for Dishonored. Every time I see his paintings, I'm like, this dude. It's just his style, his lighting, just really, really good. Do I have a favorite comic book character? Ooh. Jing, his name is Pyotr Jablonski. Piotr, and then Jablonski. You know what? I'm gonna have to come back to you on that comic book character question. It's none of the Avengers. I know that for a fact. Matter of fact, it's probably Blade, honestly. Yeah. You know what? And it's like when parents tell you that you should get a real job, it's because back in their day, art wasn't a real job. So they don't understand what's actually happening right now. They don't understand that, senior artists and art directors are making six figures the same as executives. It's just a matter of perception and what people have viewed art for so long. They're like, oh, you're never going to get work and you're never going to get anything. It's like, you know what? Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Pizza Hut was started in a garage. Okay. So there's no reason why an artist can't make a brand for his or herself. Hi, Kalechki. Is it Kalechi or Kaleki? First or second? Oh no, I ran out of space. I ran out of space for the foot. Hold on, I got to change my stuff up here. You might hear a crash because my light is going to fall over. Okay, there we go. Can you guys see this okay? Do you want a little brighter light? Or is that cool? You like that? So I can always change it. This is perfect. Perfect. Okay, I'm getting a lot of it's good, it's good, it's good. Okay, great. I won't touch it then. All right, so I don't want to give this character just some regular blade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get a little creative here. And I think he's going to be holding something curved. So let's do something curved. Maybe it's kind of a bow. All right. So what I'm trying to do is trying to add dynamism, make it dynamic compared to his stance. Okay, so this is one of the ways that you can prevent your characters from becoming stiff and make it compelling is that the posing. Okay, like if you just look in the mirror when you're standing All right, don't stand all stiff. Just relax or just pretend like you're in a setting of multiple people. You're in a mall, you're turning a corner. Most of the time your hips will jut outwards a little bit as you're looking around, especially if you're tall and lanky. That kind of movement, that energy really goes a long way into showing that, hey, this is an actual living, breathing human. Bow fishing? Maybe. I don't know. It's still probably going to be a weapon, but we'll see. All right. Okay, gotta be careful here. The kneecap does not look like that. That's why I drew it lightly. It goes down. There we go. This is where you got to be very careful. Oh, they make you remember your childhood. You are very welcome. Did you draw on homework like I did? I did. My math teacher would be like, Bobby, what's this at the top of the page? And I'm like, I was counting monsters. That's all it was. It was actually kind of funny. You know what? I just had an idea. So I think this character screams pack leader or tribal leader or some form of higher up. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some features on the head to make it look like this guy controls a group or maybe leads them in hunting. There we go. Let's see. And I don't want to make him just grip it. I mean, I could, but maybe he's holding it in an odd way. So maybe we'll just do the thumb. Maybe he's gripping it like this because he has to. Lucas asks, I've noticed you had some great landscape environment drawings on your art station. Was wondering how would you compare your processes of drawing creatures and places? Well, with the places, I definitely have to do multiple views a lot more just to get the right composition. And whenever I do views for environments, I have to keep in mind how the viewer would see it in a game on their screen. Like a creature, we think of just the silhouette. So when I do a bunch of thumbnails in a row, I'm like, okay, that thing looks the craziest and it looks the most interesting. With environments, it's okay. What's the best view? If I was a character in an RPG or like an open world game, what would look the coolest walking into those spots? And that's typically how I think about it. Hopefully that helped. Yeah. Could I post my desk setup? Yeah, you can actually see. I mean, the video I made where FlexiSpot sponsored my video. It's the one with the demon Baeleth in the thumbnail. I'm sitting in my chair. That's my desk, and I explain the chair. But yeah, I'll post a pic. Okay, phone is getting warm. Some features limited while phone. Okay. So my hand might be a little choppy. I'm going to turn the brightness down just a tad on my phone. Yeah, that was up way too much. Okay, that's probably better. As soon as I did that, it got a little better. I knew it. I knew it. I don't have back pain anymore because of this new chair from Flexi Spot I got. That's for sure. But I no, I always try to have good posture and sit up so I don't have back pain. I go to the gym 5 days out of the week, sometimes six, and I have to make it a priority that I work my back out, especially my lower back, because you know this from being an artist. Sitting in these chairs all day, whew, man, you're talking about doing a number on you. You don't even realize it. There are some days when I'm like really in the zone, painting my characters or doing whatever, and then all of a sudden I stand up and the back of my neck just feels like I just did like 85 pull-ups or something. Like it's crazy, man. Okay, that's not good. I don't like that. That's better. Maybe I can split that off. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I need to I need to figure out what his hand's doing. Because the tendon or the thumb is going to run right across there. That's not going to be as pronounced, so it goes through here. Maybe there's something big on the hand. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. I don't even know what's happening now. I don't know what's happening. What's going on here? What is going on? I have no idea. Got the thumb. Hmm. Jeez. What is wrong with that hand? Aha. I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I know. Watch this. I wouldn't suggest this to anybody that does not know hand anatomy, so I can kind of fidget this a little. But I think I'm going to put some kind of dynamic gesture with the finger. Okay, there's the cross fingertip. maybe maybe it's a giant blade. I think I'll do that. Why not? Art Gallery asks, where am I from? I was born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. And yes, I am a Bengals fan. So I don't even think the scythe is even worth it anymore. I just turned this thing into a tribal Freddy Krueger. Look at that. Why not? What is my favorite type of music to listen to when drawing? Techno. Cyberpunk, dark house. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I've been listening to techno since I was 12. EDM, if you want to call it that. Love it. I've never heard of Crystal Castle. I don't know what that is. Yeah, Nine Inch Nails are all right. Back in the 90s, man. I remember that. They're not really techno, though. They had such a unique sound back then. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So you just watched this hand go from probably holding some kind of bow to looking like Freddy real quick. Aphex Twin, you mean? Yeah, I've done plenty of album covers back in the day. Wasn't my thing, though. It doesn't happen enough to make a living with it. That's one of the harshest parts about like freelancing album covers. Never heard of Apache Wolverine. How in the world does this look like Putin? Like, where did you get that comparison? That makes no sense. Is it because you wanted to see an angry Putin? All right, now we're getting somewhere. You know what? I think I'm going to leave that hand the way it is. Move back over here on the head or near the head, and maybe there's some like cool equipment in the back here that will just hint at existing, but we really won't go into detail on what it actually is. Some like old school scabbards maybe, or some stuff. Thanks, little stars. If you feel that way, then maybe, you know, study more. Hey, John. Welcome anybody coming in. Appreciate it. Love seeing you guys here. And girls. I do mechanized things, yes. Not as much, but I do them. I never really asked to do a lot of mechanized things, but I do enjoy them. Thank you. Yeah, there's always going to be haters. It's just insecurities poured out on social media. That's all it is. Just got to roll with it. See it in sports all the time. When somebody does something that another person wishes they could do, they say it's dumb. Happens all the time. Hecker dog, Hecker Doge. This is more of a tribal character, but maybe on another planet or an alternate Earth. I can't, James. I mean, I can't answer that right now, just because it's going to take a demo to say that. But if you want to draw strange eyeballs, just look at animals like goats and weird aquatic stuff. If you want to make it Lovecraftian, just do that. Thank you, Carol. Rachel, I ignore the crazy people. They're fun to mess with sometimes. That's why they all disappear when you call them out. Some people like to hate just to do it. Ruben, I'm using a Moleskine, but don't let that deter you from using another one because it doesn't matter what sketchbook you're using. Okay, use whatever you feel more comfortable with. Get that big toe in there. Okay, that'll do. Well, thanks, James. I've done a sketchbook tour. There's a video on my channel where I did that. I, lo- I love people coming into my stream. They have no idea who I am, and they're just hit with this image. Like, what is that? That's funny. Thanks, Hacker. Appreciate that. All right. Sorry, I'm just giving my hand a little rest here. Right now, I'm just adding in little marks here and there. It just helps me figure out like what kind of texture that I might put here. If I want to put something hanging, something cool, jewelry. It just depends. So like here, I'm just outlining where the kneecap would be in the tendons. And then I'm just making sure that I honor that shape. time is it, by the way? Oh, got about another half hour, and then I'm going to have to call it a day. I really appreciate everybody stopping in, too. Seriously. Early signups are going on now if you want to join my creature design workshop, the actual workshop. Check the links in the description, and you can join our Discord too if you want to start drawing and showing off all of your stuff that you've been doing, maybe for school, get some tutorials. Really encouraged to do that. The next creature design workshop starts Tuesday, June 4th, and it goes 4 weeks. The website for that, just check out all the information. I wonder if that maybe, yeah, that's fine. I still can't believe I gave him Freddy hands. But why don't we play with that a little bit? I'll turn it this way. You guys can see it. Let's put some ridges on there to really make it different. Because maybe this warrior made these claws from an existing skeleton from a creature that he, captured and killed and stuff. That would be kind of cool. But he doesn't have one for the thumb. The thumb's right there. The Discord is Creature Design Workshop, so the link is in the description. Thank you. You got time to sign up too. I mean, it doesn't start till June 4th, but the sooner the better, because I only hold about 8 spots, and those fill up really quick. So, as you can see, I ran out of space down here for his other foot. So let's just indicate where the foot is, and then you can fill it in with your own imagination. Maybe he has some sandals on that foot. I don't know. There. That'll be fun. We'll just keep it like that. Kind of does, doesn't it? That's funny. He said the pelvic area looks like a second head. I mean, I always could. I can put a little creature face right there. Matter of fact, it's like a little evil teddy bear, maybe. There's like a head. Let's do that. All right, man. Have a good nap. 1 a.m. Man, dedication. Love it. Thank you. Yeah, it's true, Carol. It happens. You just got to kind of roll with it. Okay, so I still need to figure out what I'm going to do with some of this battered clothing maybe on the side. Thanks, Value. You too, man. Hey, Merrick. we go. Just adding in some little bits of clothing here and there. Thank you. And welcome. Not sure why it's saying it's invalid, because people join every day. That's weird. Try another video. Just go to like one of my other videos where the link is and see if that works. If not, then I'll have to double check that. Thanks for telling me. Okay, this thing definitely needs better shadow right there. I think what I'll do is just indicate where some tattoos could be. That would be kind of fun. Maybe like on his chest. Maybe there's some like scars or something. That would be cool. There we go. I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you all again. I'm gonna do something about his head. Thank you. Lucas asks, really happy to see how much your channel and community around it has been growing lately. It's more than well deserved. Thank you. Thank you, man. Dude, it's not gonna lie, it's pretty crazy just watching it happen. Like the subscriber count. I know they always say it's not really important in the grand scheme of things, but it's just fun to watch. The other thing that I want to encourage now is now I have plans for channel membership. So if you join the channel as a member, there's 2 little slots that you can join, but you'll get your personalized live streams just for you, and you get your emojis and behind the scenes on what I do. So if you want to join, please do. Thanks, Epox. Thank you, Carol. Man, time flies. When did I start this? An hour and a half ago? Man, what is happening? Okay, I don't want to go overboard with that section, but the armpit definitely needs a little bit more shadow in there. How long have I been drawing? 40 years. And how do I draw like that? You have to obsess about it, and I obsessed about it all my life. Drawing was never a hobby for me. It was a passion and a must need. You have to draw. You have to love it. Otherwise, you'll never get better. All right. This character has really evolved into something that at first I was kind of iffy about it, but I'm kind of liking it. Probably have to think of a name for it, but I don't know. Maybe like a little weapon attached to the thigh right there. Maybe it's a tool or something. What does that mean? The papers are going to get wet. What does that mean? Can I draw anim? I don't know. I was never really into anime. Anime? Anim? Just never really cared. I did like Ninja Scroll when I was a teenager. It was probably my favorite anime ever. Hey Daisy, I created this. This was just on the fly. Today's lesson is about compelling characters and just making them memorable. Hey, ummies. I should get a job there. You have to live in New Zealand for that, bud. I would love to work there. I've been in the industry long enough. I've been around a lot of really great companies. The people at Weta are pretty amazing. There we go. I was going to give it claws on this hand, but that wouldn't have been right because this, it has to stay light back here. It would be too busy, so I'm just going to keep it the way it is. Oh, phone's getting warm again. The view might get a little choppy. So I'm going to bring over some of these elements from this side. It almost looks like beetle shells. That'd be kind of neat. Those little beetle shells. Okay, so I'm gonna definitely do that on the other side. Hey, Mike, welcome. Oh man, I am parched. This is what happens when you draw for an hour and a half straight. All right, since this knee is in front, we're going to put a little bit more detail on it. Make sure everything is decent. Maybe there's some strings hanging down in the back there. Thanks, Beast. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut it short here in about 15 minutes. If I don't get to all your questions, I am not ignoring you. These probably need a top to them. I'm thinking. But I definitely, this character, I want to give the indication that there's some flowing hair blowing behind him. Just for fun. How long do I usually spend drawing? It really depends on the day. I can't give you an exact number. Up in the armpit. There we go. Okay. Make sure that side shows up more. So how's everybody doing today? You guys doing all right? I'm not drawing a spider today. Maybe next time. That's a good idea. Spiders are always fun to draw. Oh, the name. Thanks, Bean. Happy Friday, Brian. Some of these names that come into this chat, I can't repeat, but they're hilarious. All right. I'm going to wrap this up in about 5 minutes. So sorry, everybody. But I've been doing this for an hour and a half straight without a break, and I need a break. I really appreciate everybody being here. And before I actually have to get off for the day, if you haven't already, just check the links in the description for the Creature Design Workshop Discord. It's a bustling community. People are joining every day, showing their work, talking about movies, talking about creatures. Of course, the main focus is creatures, but we also talk about getting better as a concept artist in general. Early signups are going on now for my Creature Design Workshop that's going to be beginning in June 4th. So if you want to sign up for that, I encourage to do it sooner rather than later because I usually cap it at 8 spots and those fill up really quickly. Beast. 40 years. 1984, that's when I started drawing. No joke. The name of the Discord is Creature Design Workshop. I forgot his clavicle. right here. I have to put that in. There, that's better. Forgot about that little shadow in there. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, but I currently live in Connecticut. Okay. I think I'm going to blooper. I think I'm going to wrap up the live stream today. Thank you all again for watching me doodle this weird dude. I really appreciate you all being here. I love you all. Hope you learned something watching me do this. Me trying to talk and draw at the same time. All right, folks. Thanks again. And I live stream every single Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Thanks again. I'll catch you all later.